This is gonna be your tempo push-up. So a few things to note here. When we initiate the push-up position, we wanna have good position with our upper body, with our shoulders, and with our hands. So when I start off, I wanna splay my hands nice and wide as I'm able to. It would behoove us not to do so because the wider I make my hands, the more surface area I'm taking up, therefore less force is going through a smaller area. So if I have my hands crammed up here, or if I'm just putting weight on the outside of my hands, a lot of force is going through that one area versus dispersing the force across a wider surface area is gonna be less joint reaction forces. So this is a good thing here. So nice wide hand. The next thing I wanna be mindful of is I wanna corkscrew my shoulders in place. So notice my hand here. I can keep my hand here in this position and I can simultaneously corkscrew and set my shoulders in place. That happens from the upper arm, the humerus and the rotator cuff versus the lower arm here, my forearm and my hand and my wrist. So that just simply means is I can have my hands connected to the ground and I can change the position of my upper arm without having to change the position of my wrist. So I want to have a nice big wide hand here. I want to corkscrew and get the creases of my elbows pointed upwards. That's going to set my shoulders in a closed pack position. From here, when I get into the plank position, nice and long, right? Think about pushing the weight through my heels. Think about driving your hands down towards your feet to really feel that trunk engage. And then from here, I want to initiate a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt. Now the tempo version, whatever the eccentric phase is, that's going to be the lowering phase. I'm going to lower myself for the prescribed amount of time. Maybe I have a pause at the bottom, and then I'm gonna raise myself up into the prescribed amount of time. Typically, the lowering phase is gonna be longer than the raise phase because that is the eccentric phase, and that's where you're gonna get the most bang for your buck. Having said that, if we need to modify this, it is okay to go to a kneeling position. Or if we need to, we can use a box, a bench, we can get our hands a little bit more elevated, but the principles are gonna be the same. Wide hand, creases of the elbows pointed up. Make sure we got a little bit of posterior pelvic tilt. Control yourself through the entire range of motion for whatever the time prescribed is gonna be. And that is gonna be your tempo push-up.